Hello everybody and welcome back for another great video. This is actually going to be the first in a series of videos on the creative process. So let's get right into it. Hello everybody, welcome to the creative process. This is going to be the first of 4 videos where we kind of break down stage by stage how I work as a creative problem solver, whether it's a graphic designer or as an illustrator, whatever I'm doing in the visual creative field, or you as a student or anybody else out there. If you find this content helpful, please hit like, hit subscribe. Don't forget the notification bell so that you get updates on future videos. But I must say that this content that I'm giving you here today, it's not something that I came up with completely on my own. I have learned this stuff over many years, whether it was in design school myself or as a graphic designer working in the industry before I became a teacher. I worked as a graphic designer, and just other people out in the world, books I've read or videos that I've seen on YouTube about other designers that do this same kind of stuff. I kind of brought all this together, and I hope this is helpful to you. So in the first stage of this, we're going to get into preparation and research. I'm going to highlight that here so that you can all see this a little bit easier. Preparation and research is so important. And I get it, okay? As a student, the last thing you want to do is what you feel is like more work, right? You feel like, oh, there's work before work. I'm not doing that. But I promise you that if you do this first stage right, not only will you be more effective as a designer, as a creative problem solver, but it will impact you in other ways in your life. You'll be more prepared to take on difficult tasks. You'll be more motivated. You'll be more energetic about solving the problem, and you won't feel so overwhelmed, right? Like being a student is so difficult because sometimes you just get so overwhelmed. There's just so much to do, and every day is just like I have another class or another project or so. If you do this first step, I feel it's a really useful tool for you as not just a creative person, but just as an everyday solving problem student, individual. So let's start breaking down this first stage, okay? And I'm going to highlight this right here. And like I said, this will be in the link in the description so that you can read through this all on your own, but I'm just going to go right into this. Preparation and research. The first stage is the concept of preparation and research, the idea that you are immersing yourself on the task at hand. This is so important because when I give out a design brief or a creative brief to a class, so often some students will read through it once or not even at all, and they'll see a couple little things that, oh, okay, I have to do this. I'll just start right into it. I'll jump on the computer and I'll just start designing. I'll go into Canva and pick a template and just start designing. Yeah, I guess that can kind of work, but you're going to be missing something vital. And I feel like the first thing is separating you from the task. Like, it's not about you. It's not about what you like. It's not all about you. It's about why am I doing this, right? Like, what's the purpose of this project? And is this project, what is the value in the problem to be solved, right? And then you start really getting in deeper into things and you start saying, okay, well, why should I do it this way? Why can't I do it that way? And that's where you really start creating, right? Is when you start trying to figure out the purpose of a thing. That's where creation comes. So you must try to put yourself in the position of the viewer, very important. Think of your target audience and how they will perceive your message visually. So this is another problem that I see early or young designers falling into is they just want to make something cool and splashy and colorful and okay, that's all nice and well and good. But if you're not considering the viewer and how they're going to perceive the image, then what's it all for, right? If you're designing for a broad audience, if you're designing for children and for adults, if you're designing for elderly people and for young children, then the design that you create needs to have that broad appeal. It can't just be so focused on a certain style, right? So again, your message needs to be clear. The more research you do, the better prepared you will make yourself to complete the task given to you. The more equipped you will be to solve the task creatively and on time. So, on time is so important. So, let's get into that. All right. Meeting deadlines is just as important as creating a well designed layout or logo design. I have done design for a very, very long time. And I can tell you that time is the most valuable commodity to a client. They want their design and they want it on time. They want it yesterday. Okay. It's your job as a designer to meet those deadlines, but still produce a great product. And what I found is as long as you're open and honest with your client about the task and how much time it will take, they'll be willing to wait for a great design, provided it's a great design. And this goes with me as a teacher as well. So if I see a student that's just grinding away and doing a great job and working every day and putting the time, but they're a little bit late on a project, you're not going to lose credit. All right. For me, it's about the effort. And unless you're like really dragging your feet and you're not, doing the work, yeah, then that's a separate conversation. But if you do the research and you prepare yourself, you will pretty much be halfway to your goal. It seems like something like a throwaway line, like, yeah, just be well prepared and you're halfway there. But it's so, 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 so true. Because the more prepared, the more information you have, that's going to fuel the next step, which is brainstorming. If you have all the content brought together, let's say you create a mood board, which we're going to get into as well, um, you don't know what you need unless you've done the research. You can't even start. You can't even make a mood board or a storyboard or anything in the brainstorming phase. Being prepared means that you're on time, that you've got the necessary, whether it's a piece of paper and a pencil or a tablet with a stylus or um, whatever, just a notebook and jotting down ideas, right? Coming in ready to go, being motivated. That's being prepared. Research, looking up things online, reading books, believe it or not, right? These are all great ways to get content. So, the next phase of this will be brainstorming. We're going to get into formulation. We're going to get into production, which are all vital steps to go from your initial ideas to a finished product. So I'm going to go ahead and post this in the description so you can read it on your own time. And in the next part of this video, we're also going to get into reading and looking at a design brief and how to break down a brief, go from the brief to some sketches, and then go from the sketches to a finished product. So we're going to go through the whole range here in these series of videos. So I will also put this design brief in the next video in the description. So please, like I say, if you like this content, if you find it valuable, hit like, hit subscribe, turn on notifications so you can get updates on future content that I put out there. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Stay creative.